in the days of a time long past. During the time of the Puritans, Boston's lands were home to a great violence. Puritanical rule meant that anyone who opposed them would be met with an early fate. The great elm, now gone with time, was responsible for the hangings of witches, pirates, and Quakers. Their bodies tossed into the Charles River, drifting into the bay that once existed here. 100 years later would see their graves filled in to make room for houses, parks, and businesses. They say you can see the ghosts of those killed years and years ago, littered through the roads and the alleyways of the Back Bay. Isabella Stewart Gardner was an American philanthropist, art collector, and intellectual who in 1903 opened her museum, which now holds over 7,500 paintings. But that's not why it's famous. On March 18, 1990, the most significant art heist in history took place right here. At 1:24 a.m., two unidentified men were admitted into the museum. They disabled cameras, tied up museum guards in the basement, and made way with $200 million worth of art. The two thieves were posing as police officers, stealing 13 pieces of art, leaving the museum, and never being found. The sound of jackhammers, bulldozers, and cranes can be heard from every stretch of the Back Bay. But if you're living in a brownstone building from the 18 or 1900s, construction sounds are barely going to creep into your house. But one of the biggest construction efforts in Boston history was the filling of the Back Bay. This is Boston today, and this is Boston when it was first settled. So how did we get to the city layout we have today? This saltwater bay, or the Great Bay as it was known, took up a lot of space and was eventually dammed to draw power for local mills. And in 1856, the city decided to fill in the land for a new area, a residential area, the Back Bay as it is now. And because of that construction, we now have all of this. The more time you spend here, the more you notice how different it feels and how captivating it feels. The more the ghost stories start to become believable.